another episode of Falling Upwards. We're both excited to be here. It's getting darker because, you know, it's about 4 p.m. here. It gets dark that time in the UK. What are we going to do? But you know who still has a sunny disposition? It's Maddie Armstrong. Hello, Maddie.
Hi.
Woo! How are you doing today?
Hi. It's 4 p.m.
Yeah.
It is 4 o'clock. It is 1600 and the sun has disappeared behind the houses
What is happening?
in our neighborhood that I can see.
What is happening? Honestly.
I had to put the light on. It's just so sad. I mean, I do have friends from Scandinavia and they're like, yeah, we just spend half the year in darkness. I'm like, okay. How many vitamin D tablets do you take? Oh my goodness. I think we mentioned this in our other episode that we just recorded, but I have slept like 25 hours in the last 24 hours, and I could still go for another nap. I could still go for another round. I do have to get up sometimes.
Should we segue into mad news?
Let's get mad.
Oh, I like that.
Was that quite menacing?
It felt quite enthusiastic.
Yeah. It kind of felt like something you'd hear off Capital FM or something.
That I have not listened to in a while, Capital FM.
That was like the cool radio one back in the day.
Back in the day.
Radio is fizzling out, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. So me and Emma, as everyone knows by this point, we're a big fan of our little animal friends. I mean, we've both got like this mental health app where you just look after a chicken. And it's supposed to be like
It's a penguin.
And we've got yeah, it's a penguin. It's a penguin. Listen, it's not like it looks much like a penguin anyway.
To be fair, it does when it's first born, it does look like a little chick, doesn't it? It does.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's not like it's Pingu.
No.
She definitely knows a penguin.
No.
We've got our Tamagotchis and we've got our Animal Crossing. And at the moment, it's all about Pocket Cam, which we've talked about before. And I just want to say I moved on from like my Grecian / Hawaiian / general tropical island, paradise island, to this lovely generic East Asian storybook.
Okay.
But it's beautiful and everything's pink and blossomy. And I love it. And I have I can't remember whose cookie it is. It's one of the like the chickens or the ostriches, but it's the storybook cookie with like all the pink sort of buildings and like little stalls and parasols and things like that. And there's this one, the 5-star piece on it is this like sort of temple where they play music on the top floor and then a waterfall cascades down to the ground. And I've also got a river piece and a massive pond piece. So what I've done in my little camp is I've set like this whole big river underneath it to make it look like the waterfall goes down the river and then down this little stream to this massive pond, and there's like cherry blossom trees around it, and it's really beautiful and I'm very proud of it. Thank you.
Oh, I love that. I've also changed mine. I'm gonna try and like change it once a month. That's what I'm gonna go for. Like last month it was a very more, like you're saying, kind of East Asian inspired. It doesn't feel particularly specific, does it, the way they design it sometimes? But before it was more inspired by East Asian architecture, and then this time it's more like a cozy winter camp. So there's like a little tent.
Oh, cute. Oh yeah, you showed me. You did like a little Christmassy village, didn't you?
Yeah.
Have you got something new now?
Yeah, this time it's like there are tents and they can like eat outside, and there's a little snow slide, and it's like, yay, cute camp.
Have you got the piece where it's an animal interactive piece where they've got an umbrella in a snowstorm and they're like trying to stand up?
No.
It's in the shop right now, I think. It's really cute.
Oh,
it doesn't fit in my camp because it's not the right theme, but you should get it.
Oh, that's adorable.
It's just, honestly, Pocket Camp, it has the most amazing range, and I just think any new Animal Crossing games should incorporate that whole catalog, because this is why Pocket Camp is like up there, you know?
Yep. Just amazing sets, innit? Amazing.
Gaming doesn't have to be about winning a competition or fighting. It can just be about making your own little mini paradise with the most adorable, adorable sets. I'm thinking of making a little cafe of my cabin because there's so many gorgeous little cafe sets, like a bubble tea thing or something.
Oh my God. So that's what I did. So last month it was I had 2 floors of tea rooms, and then I had the boba cafe, and then this month the ground floor is the donut shop, the mid floor is like the chocolate orange shop, and the top floor is like the piano restaurant.
Oh, beautiful. Have you been doing the...
You gotta do it.
Have you been doing the current event with the flowers and the choco bees?
Yes.
And I love all the pieces with that, like the chocolate fountain. I'm thinking, how do I put this into my account? Because I love this.
You could cabin it. You could make like a whole cabin floor.
I think I will do.
Like a chocolate cabin floor.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I love this.
See, this is what we want. We just want to decorate places with nicely matched sets that make people
happy. The people
happy.
want the peaceful animal games.
Well, someone who is all about just peaceful, chill, good vibes is the lovely Dhruv. We had the great privilege of being able to interview him last year. We are finally putting it out this year. His newest album, Private Blizzard, has been doing so well since it was out at the end of last August. So, Maddie, are we ready to welcome the lovely Dhruv onto the lawn?
I'm so ready.
Firstly, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing well. Excited about this evening. Yeah.
How have you prepped for it? Anything special, or are you just kind of going through the motions?
It's definitely I just did like a run of shows. So I did one in London, I did one in the US, and a couple in the US as well. And so it's a mix of old stuff and a mix of some new stuff, as well as a cover that I have only performed a couple of times. So it was really fun. Yeah.
How, for a big festival like this, does it change how you approach the set list, or do you actually like to go into it doing what you feel you know well?
For a festival, it feels like it's important to keep up the energy. So I think I tend to pick songs that are like, at least, even if like, I don't really pick ballads for festivals as much.
Okay.
Because in the past when I play festivals, I found that it's a harder experience to translate with as many people as there are. So it's a higher, like slightly more high, up-tempo kind of vibe this today.
With so many influences in your background, what would you say culturally has influenced you the most as a musician? Is there anything that stands out?
I think it just varies. It just depends on the time that I'm making. So I think when I first made when I made my first project, I was listening to so much R&B music. Control had just come out by SZA, and I feel like I really absorbed that album and it naturally just came out in the way that I wrote. And then with this new one, I think I went back and I've been listening to so many of like Adele's first records, so many of like Amy's 2 albums, and like even musicians like Duffy, and have kind of been leaning towards something that's a bit more soulful. So I definitely get absorbed by the things that I'm listening to in a given moment.
You definitely get that in his performing. You definitely get that. He was talking about being up tempo, but I think his up tempo is still very chill. You definitely get that sort of soulful vibe from him. He's so chill.
He's a very peaceful, thoughtful artist, I feel.
Yeah. We've been talking about like the TikTokification of music, and how everything's getting like shorter, so it's replayed more, and everything's just kind of like bite-sized and addictive, and like all these elements of music, and it almost feels like music is getting a bit more juvenile somehow. And I love when artists just continue to be true to themselves and break through that and just be as mature as their soul is, and just put out what's real, what's true, what's not like manufactured just to do well. And you get that with this stuff, you know. Like Moonlight is a song I've liked for a while. Still like it, you know. It's the sort of stuff that sticks with you. It doesn't just stay trending for 2 weeks on an app. It stays with you.
Yeah. To underline Maddie's point about his thoughtfulness, I will read some lyrics out from one of his early popular songs. I don't know if you know this one, Maddie. This is called Double Take. It's from 2019. I'll just go from the beginning. I could say I never dare, to think about you in that way, but I would be lying. And I pretend I'm happy for you when you find some dude to take home. But I won't deny that. In the midst of the crowds, in the shapes of the clouds, I don't see nobody but you. In my rose-tinted dreams, wrinkled silk on my sheets, I don't see nobody but you.
Aww.
Boy, you got me hooked onto something. Who could say that they saw us coming? Tell me, do you feel the love? Spend a summer or a lifetime with me. Let me take you to the place of your dreams. Tell me, do you feel the love? And I could say that I never unzipped those blue Levi's inside my head, but that's far from the truth. Don't know what's come over me. It seems like yesterday when I said, we'll be friends forever. Constellations of stars, murals on city walls. I don't see nobody but you. You're my vice, you're my muse, you're a 19th floor view. I don't see nobody but you.
Man, I love that.
Go listen, people.
That's gorgeous.
It's lovely. It's so...
The imagery.
It feels like there's so much sadness there, but it also feels just so... Yeah, it's just beautiful, isn't it?
Mm.
As somebody who saw him live, did that connect very much to how you feel he comes across live? So for somebody who might not be familiar with his work at all.
Yeah, man. Just sort of flows out of him. But it's very heartfelt. Very heartfelt. Like he had his eyes closed a lot of it. Just as I noticed as a photographer. But that's because he was feeling the music. Yeah.
Oh.
You know? And it just comes out. It's not like he's trying to think about the lyrics or trying to put any effort. It just comes out of him. And it's purely run on feeling of performance.
We love that.
You know, that's the type of performance that you would expect from lyricism like that. He's got his identity.
I was going to ask about Private Blizzard coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
What are you most excited about with that album's rollout coming up?
I'm excited about... It's just such a live album, and it was made in Nashville with so many incredible musicians and people who just are so... like has just deep love and understanding for music, and especially how it is going to sound in a live setting. So I'm excited for like the touring aspect of it, when I get to play these songs and get to do that with an audience.
Is that something you went into this album with in mind, going, actually I'd love to craft something that really brings out that live experience, or is that something that just kind of grew organically as you were creating?
Definitely with this album more, because when I was making my first one, it was such a bedroom project, and I had no idea whether it was going to be successful or not, or whether I was even going to have a career in music, and that was so DIY. And I think coming off of that, playing my first few live shows, and then feeling, just having an understanding of what it takes to put on a good live show, and what the exchange between the audience and the performers is, it definitely made me interested in like doing something that I think would translate well to the stage.
I don't know if you're ever super aware of how global your following is, but I think that comes from as well, your music is, well, to me it feels very, very timeless. It kind of transcends so many different styles. As a really truly global artist, is that something that crosses your mind, where you go, wow, actually there's somebody, you know, that might be in Mongolia that's listening to my music? Do you ever think about that, or does that never really factor in?
Initially, no. Well, like when I was, again, so much of the early success I found was during COVID, and so I had no concept of anybody listening. It was mostly just like seeing numbers on a screen and seeing things go up. And then I went to Asia last year and toured it. I went to tour it in India, I toured in Southeast Asia, and then also into Korea and a bunch of different places. And then to have people there who are knowing the lyrics to songs that even like weren't even singles, and just have that awareness and understanding of my music is insane. And that's kind of the first time that I processed that, because it's really hard to see when it's like in the digital age and everything's via computer.
Do you have any specific favorite memories from touring in those parts of the world?
Well, the India tour was really fun because so much of my family lives there. Like I'm like fully Indian. My grandparents are in Delhi, and it was really cute because my grandmother came to my show in India, which was really sweet because I would never expect her to otherwise, but it was like her and then a bunch of her friends who were also like old, and they all came, and it was really cute.
Aww.
What did they think?
They enjoyed it. I don't even know if like they would offer a critique in the sense that they're just there for the vibes. I don't think they're like listening to me and being like, oh, he.
So they're not like, oh, we have a favorite song. This is.
No, I think every time my grandmother calls me up, she's like, oh, I love this song, and she always says that. So it's like,
Aww.
I think she's just down for whatever I make. She's biased.
Supportive parents. I love that. Yeah, we don't always give enough credit to like a parent that will give in and just let you do what you're excited about. I think it took a long time for my mom to sort of get what it was that I do, because it's, you know, the most important thing to me is like my photography and like my concert photography. And it's quite a unique concept. You don't hear of a lot of concert photographers, you know? And she knows that I do it out of passion. My mom and like my parents have just sort of learned to accept it. And I think it's fantastic to have parents that will just accept, okay, well, that's what they want to do, you know? They don't want to go down that one specific route because it's not for them, and they wouldn't be living life the way they want to. Sometimes it's not about just supporting, it's just about acceptance. And if your parents can just accept it, then that's like the best thing.
A lot of people are not blessed with family members that it's, you know what, sometimes it's not even just acceptance, it's even the person trying to accept you, you know? Because, you know, some people will have beliefs that might be very limited and very at odds with what their child or their family member is trying to say, this is who I am. But even the gesture of trying to understand, trying to reconcile what they believe life is with what their kids is trying to reach out to them to say, even that trying, some people even struggle with that. So even having,
we're all different people, you know, like your kids aren't going to be a copy of you.
No.
And you can't expect that. They develop their own like philosophy on life, their own morals, that, you know, their own ways. And you've just got to accept that. Unless they're like a psycho, you should just accept them for who they are and what they want to do. They might not want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
They might want to just live life for happiness rather than for success.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like we're in like a nice, I want to say we're in a place in the world where it's like people aren't just having kids because they feel like they need to carry on their legacy or that they need to carry on like, I know there are still obviously people that do that, but with the choice, with like the ability to have kids being a choice, I think more and more people are realizing that actually if I'm choosing to have a kid, what I'm saying is that I choose to give my time, my resources and my love to hopefully just bring up a great human being. And how they choose to express that, like if they're a chef, if they are a teacher, if they are a cleaner, it doesn't matter if they're a great human being. But obviously lots of people don't see having a kid as that. It's just with like having a kid being more of a choice, it's nice that more and more people are approaching it with that attitude, I guess.
It's all about just making a good impression, a good impact, a good impact on the people around you.
Yeah.
You know, because that could be like a caretaker at school that all the kids just adore because they're a lovely person. Like I remember I lived with my old school caretaker. He was lovely.
Yeah.
He let us all look after his chickens. And that's not like the most noble job in the society's views, but actually it was really noble because he was like being kind to children.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do, who you are, just be kind.
Yeah. Like have you seen the newest advert for Battersea Dogs and Cats Home?
No.
Oh my gosh. Firstly, go see it. It'll make you cry. But the lovely gist of it.
I don't want to cry.
It's a very long, if you watch the whole thing, one of the through lines, there are quite a few within the advert, is how one of the staff members, the impact he has on this dog by supporting and encouraging this dog that's obviously been given up to the dog's home to have that dog have confidence again, for that dog to be well enough to be able to be rehomed again. And you can see why I bawled like a baby. But it's like, what a beautiful, like, nobody's gonna, like, it's a beautiful legacy that he's left behind, that he's helped that dog have a new life. Do you know what I mean? What a beautiful thing. Like,
yeah, that does sound like I'd cry.
Like, the impact we have, I've thought so much about this year, but like the impact we have on people, often it is the small things that make a difference. Like, you know, we've talked about Dhruv being like, he's a very chill artist. He's not like a big, like, fireworks everywhere, bombastic kind of, oh my god, this is the biggest spectacle you're ever going to see artist. But like, the way he writes his music is such a safe place for people. What a beautiful thing to leave behind as an artist, that you've created a safe space for people when they listen to your things.
Yeah, man.
It doesn't have to be that you won a million things and that you played to like sold out stadiums, but he made people feel really safe, and not everybody feels safe with a certain artist, but he did. That's a beautiful thing.
And his grandma and all their old friends can sing along.
Yeah.
His music for everyone.
Yeah, it's lovely. Getting deep and emotional here today.
Do you run songs past family ever, just to see what they think?
My sister, definitely. Like, she's the person that she plays guitar, and so I started writing music with her when I was like very young. And she just has such a good ear for music, and she just knows me so well, so she'll be able to tell me if something's believable or not. And she's the first person I share music to.
How do you feel your process has changed then in that time? Because it sounds like there are some bedrocks that you've really kept no matter what, but has anything evolved with your writing process?
I think, well, so after I guess having success with the first one, I had a song that kind of just went really viral. Kind of for a few months screwed me up mentally, because I was just like, I don't know, when something like that happens, you just feel this immense pressure to create something again that does something like that, which is impossible. And I have no idea how it did that in the first place. And so I think initially I sort of got into this headspace of writing, thinking too much about what other people would think about it. And I think I've slowly found my way back to, you know, the like things that I love to do. So I love to start stuff in my bedroom musically. I love to bring music that's like very formed or almost fully formed to producers, and that's kind of the process that I've always I started with, and I've kind of come back to as well.
Oh, well, no wonder he started to sort of break down a little bit, because art is not meant to be made for a goal to be met. Like success is meant to be made because someone wanted to make art, you know? So when he started to lose the grip on that, that's when he started feeling bad. So I'm glad that he's got out of that, because, you know, you can tell his art is like made from the heart, and we want more of that.
Yeah, we do. Heartful?
I really do.
Meaningful? Is that what we'd go for? Meaningful?
Heartful. Is that heartfelt?
That sounds heartfelt. There we go. That sounds like a real word. Not heartful.
With the concept of pressure, something we always like to ask people is regarding how pressure really impacts young people these days. Do you personally have a favourite failure that you've been through?
I mean, I feel like, in general, I feel like I'm failing my 20s, which seems like funny to say, but it's like so tough being in your I've heard it be said many times before, but being in your 20s is tough because it's like you feel like you have to kind of have cemented your future forever, but then you also are expected to be having the most fun you've ever had in your life. And I think I like exist somewhere in between, where on some days I feel like, oh yeah, like things are going great with my life, and then obviously like with any job, with any career, it's like existential sometimes. But then also, like, because I've been traveling so much, I haven't had as much time to see my family and friends as much maybe I would like. So I think I exist in this middle zone where I never feel like I'm kind of achieving one or the other, which sounds, I guess, weird, but it's probably that's for me.
You know what? Same, Dhruv. Same. Oh my words. Can life just like leave us alone?
Yeah.
Can it just leave us alone?
Yeah.
Genuinely. So, okay, this is like the best time of my life. I don't feel like I'm having the best time of my life. And then like I've got like my mental health issues of my not quite yet fully developed brain to deal with. And it's like this, there's just so much. There's so much. And this is the best time. This is the best. It goes downhill from here. No, thank you. The 30s, that's where it's at. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Olivia Rodrigo, you know him in, is it Brutal?
Yeah, that's a great song.
Brutal? Yeah. I feel like
It's
that.
brutal out
I know
here.
she's encapsulating like teenage years.
It's the
But
same
I feel
thing,
like it also
man.
applies to one's 20s, doesn't it?
Teenager mentality is the same as like 20s mentality. It's honestly the same.
Yeah, same level of nonsense and pain. It's just that
Mm.
we're not at school going through it. We're just thrown outside into the world.
We literally, school is like when you've got the armbands on, because at least, you know, you're told what you have to do.
Yeah.
This is the same, but we have to decide what to do. So it's even worse.
Yeah. We don't like it. Mm-mm. No. No, thank
Can
you.
we name like one good thing about our age?
You can buy Haribo whenever you want.
Oh my word, that is true. I do buy Haribo whenever I want.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you're younger, even if when you're in your teens with pocket money, sometimes you might get a little bit of but it's bad for your teeth. But do you really want to spend your pocket money on that of all things?
Yeah.
But actually, you can get it without criticism. I can get 20 bags if I want. I might criticize myself, but I'm not getting it from anybody else. Because it's my money.
The only thing stopping you is your own self-control. And if you don't have good self-control, you can get whatever you want.
Yeah, that's what, you know what? I was reading that like millennials and Gen Z are now propping up the plushie industry.
Mm-hmm.
Again, don't quote me on this article because, you know, it was just an article. But also, I do think the majority of like my millennial and Gen Z friends are the ones that are like buying all the blind boxes, going to Pop Mart, buying all the plushies that they didn't have space for when they were a kid. They're buying it now.
Exactly. You know, because like it was honestly such a constant battle because it was probably like a 5% success rate, you know, saying, Mommy can have this or Daddy can have this, you know? And very occasionally would I actually get what I wanted, because you know your parents don't want to spoil you, and also they have to budget their own things on actual important things like food. But now I could just waste my money on like these things myself. Like I have this fat Tigger which I got from Miniso. Like I have all my other cuddlies, but I have this fat Tigger plushie. And I just love to smack it, like, every time I see it. It's just got, like, the stupidest little arms and ears. And it's so cute and stupid. And I love it. And, like, I know my mum probably wouldn't have got that for me when I was a kid. She was like, no, it's weird. Why not get a normal Tigger cuddly? But I have this incredible thing. And, like, it's just as a disclaimer, it's okay if I can smack him because he's so fat that he doesn't feel it. Like, he enjoys it. This is my headcanon, so I just get...
Aww.
I just love Fat Tigger.
I love that.
Yeah.
We love that. See, there are things that are good. You can buy your own concert tickets, but they're really expensive. So do you want to in a cost of living crisis?
That's cool, though, the idea that you're allowing yourself to be in flux almost. Kind of accepting that state.
That's the mentality that I'm trying to get at. Initially, I was like, why am I not... like conquering both, and why am I not even fully conquering one? And I think I've become a bit more flexible, being like, I think that's just life. Like you just have, you know, you operate somewhere in the middle, and you're kind of,
Before we hear what Dhruv has thrown in for the exchange, Maddie, what do you have today?
My exchange is exclusively for Emmy this time. I genuinely... I haven't even been opening my banking app because I don't want to see the damage.
Oh, no.
I don't want to know.
No.
I've definitely spent already this year on like non-essentials.
Okay, wait.
That's abysmal.
You say they're not essentials, but are they essential to your well-being?
Essential to mental health.
I know that's a slippery slope here, but you know.
Well, okay. I went to a concert and it was worth every penny. All the traveling, you know, the outfits, the merch, whatever, the food, the ticket itself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time with friends. And I needed it because it was like the only thing I had to look forward to for a long time.
There we go.
Life is short.
Those things made you happy.
Yes. They were worth the redacted I spent.
The redacted. Okay, well, I will put in for the exchange today. I'm enjoying the bulbs that just switch on when you like tell them to. You know, those like...
Oh my days, that just reminds me of like when I was... Okay, I'm sorry, I'm taking over.
No,
but
it's good.
when I stayed over at Emma's house one of the times, one of her family members was explaining the lights and how it's voice activated. And I was like, I've never done this before. This is so fun. You know, I would just be like, Alexa, turn light to 30%. And it was just, it was so fun. I felt like I was in the future.
I just got, because the lights above my desk like have died. So we've now finally replaced them with the speaky ones, the ones that are voice activated. And it
Can you do a demo?
Okay. Alexa, please switch off AK desk light.
Okay. She's just been shrouded in darkness. Can you change its color, or is that too advanced?
I can. Alexa, please switch on AK desk light.
Okay.
Alexa, please turn AK desk light to red.
Okay. Oh my word!
Now I look like I'm a vampire contemplating my next victim.
You look like it's the apocalypse.
Is there something that you'd like to share that you're just really loving right now?
I'm really loving waking up early and walking around the city when not that many people are walking around. And it's really, really interesting to see, like, especially the busiest parts of the city, to see them when, like, there's nobody there.
That's lush.
I've been really enjoying that.
Have you done it here?
I've done it here. So I've done the whole, like, I never would ever go to, like, the Bond Street area, Selfridge, all that, by that area.
Yeah.
But I've just been doing it, like, recently, and it's so different and really in the morning.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's such like a romantic man thing to do.
It's just beautiful, man.
Such a deep person thing to do.
Deep person, deep lyrics.
I could never.
No.
I could never.
We're just there making our nice little layouts in Animal Crossing. He's actually woken up early. He's woken up early to do it. Impressive.
I will never, ever, by my own free will, wake up on a single digit hour.
Too hard.
Too much. I don't need that. But I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
What would you like your sign-off phrase to be?
I would say, now, not next.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's my recent thing that I'm trying to preach.
Love
myself.
it. Cool. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
chatting to me.
It was lovely.
today.
It was lovely meeting you.
Now, not next.
All right. Well, we've been won already. We haven't even said anything. Thank you, Dhruv.
What would your sign-off message then be, Mads?
Maintenant, par le prochain. Maintenant, par le prochain.
Ah!
Oh my gosh.
Actually, yeah, because we do have French listeners now. We did. Oh my gosh, yeah, because I told you. I told you.
Oui. Another language, please, Emma.
That was actually really lovely. Okay, well, for our French listeners, merci beaucoup pour votre soutien et continuez à écouter notre émission, s'il vous plaît. Merci. Thank you to the lovely Dhruv for popping onto the lawn today. It was lovely to hear his beautiful thoughts. His most recent release, Private Blizzard, is out now. Go check it out on our streaming platforms. And thank you very much for listening to another episode of Falling Upwards.
Bye.